Hello everyone and welcome to CCN. My name is Emmanuel and today our attention will be focused on bias in hiring the mentally ill. We're going to provide more details by analyzing the keywords and asking others what they think about the subject. Mental health problems are associated with lower levels of employment and disproportionately affect the unemployed. Persons with mental health problems are stereotyped as dependent, unreliable, and less competent, and sometimes also as dangerous, which makes employers wary of hiring those with mental illness. Research has shown that employers' negative attitudes about hiring people with mental illness is due to stigma. Stigma refers to the negative outcomes that occur when a social, economic, or other characteristic label is attributed to an individual or group of individuals sharing a particular quality. Now, let's hear directly from Madilynn on this story. Applicants with mental health problems have about 27% lower probability of receiving an invitation to a job interview and about 22% lower probability of receiving any positive employer response. Moreover, surveys of employers indicate that they are indeed skeptical towards workers with mental health problems, and people with such problems report that they experience discrimination. Compared with applicants who explained an equivalent absence period with having been hospitalized for a physical injury, mental illness reduced the probability of receiving any expression of employer interest by 45.6%. We turn now in our live interview. In Belgium, it was found that applicants between 37 and 38 years old who disclosed a year of inactivity due to former depression decreased the probability of being invited to a job interview by 34.2% and of receiving any positive reaction from employers by 19.5%. Individuals with severe and common mental health conditions are 7 and 3 times more likely to be unemployed compared to individuals with no such disorder. Due to a national poll from the American Psychiatric Association, APA, found that mental health stigma is still a major challenge in the workplace. Based on beliefs, on average, persons with such problems are less productive and reliable, have greater accommodation.
Okay. My name is Madilynn Davenport with the CCN, where we are investigating the bias in hiring of the mentally ill in the workplace. Today I'm speaking with
Jehu.
And do you think that there's a bias in the hiring of the mentally ill in the workplace?
Honestly, I think there very much is.
Why do you say that?
Because I feel like, say like, you have your resume, right? And you put it in and they kind of like scan through. I feel like if you put anything like, say like you got anxiety, you know what I'm saying? I feel like putting like your mental disorders or mental issues on there kind of like, it makes you kind of feel like, it kind of hinders you a bit, you know what I'm saying? So like it brings up a red flag. So like say you have anxiety and you mention that, you're like, oh, you have anxiety? And you're like, how would that affect them in the business place, you know what I'm saying? In the workplace. And then I feel like that's like, it's like a big thing for them. So they're like, how are we going to work around this? Is this really something that I want to work around, you know? So I feel like that's a big issue.
For sure. So in 2016, there was a study conducted in on the report of stigma, which is bias. And so they came to the conclusion that I'm going to quote, there's no country, society, or culture where people with mental illness have the same societal views as people without mental illness. So would you agree with that? On your work day at home?
I say I would.
Why would you say that?
Because I feel like in every decision we make, there is bias, you know? And we kind of view people on their stigma. So like me, like your first impression, like what I first see and like what I first hear about you, like I said with the resume thing, like the first thing I see, you already have anxiety or like your disorder on there, and it just like, boom, that's like what I'm gonna stigmatize you as, you know?
Yeah, sure. So if you were hypothetically in the position where you were hiring someone and you found out that they did have a mental illness, would you hire them?
Now, I feel like there's different factors that come into play. So like, depending on the business, what role they could do, but I would definitely consider it, because if they're applying for the job, I would assume that they feel like they're capable of doing the job. So I would try to get them in an interview, and then during the interview, I would question like how they deal with that disorder that they have or illness that they have, and how that would affect their job, if it wouldn't even affect their job and stuff like that. I would try to question it first before I would just count them out, you know?
For sure. Thank you very much for your
No
time.
problem.
That's all I have for you.
Thank you.
All right. So my name is Madilynn Davenport, and I'm with the CCN. We are investigating the bias in the hire of the mentally ill. Today I'm speaking with
Gina.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for giving us your time. Do you think there's a bias in the workplace in the hiring of the mentally ill?
Yes.
You do. In 2016, there was a report on stigma, and there's a conclusion made that there's no country, society, or culture where people with mental illness have the same societal views as people without mental illnesses. Do you agree with this conclusion?
As in the people that are mentally ill, they don't have the same views, or people don't have the same views of them?
People don't have the same views as them as they do with the people without mental disability.
Yes, I do agree with that.
Why or why not?
I agree with it because I think some people aren't informed about mental illness, so certain stigmas or stereotypes, prejudgments.
Yes. Thank you very much for your time.
Perfect.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Again. Oh,
Go.
Okay. Hi. Good morning. My name is Christie, and I'm from CCN. And I have some questions for you about hiring people with mental health. It's okay for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Today I'm speaking with
Zach.
Okay. Do you think there is a bias in the workplace regarding hiring mental health?
Yes.
Yes. So that's been like somebody say there is no country, society, or culture where people with mental illness have the same social value as people without mental illness. Do you agree with that conclusion?
No.
Why not?
So you said society doesn't. Oh wait.
Well, they have like the same value.
Society thinks they don't have the same value.
They have the same.
Oh, okay. I think they do have the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
People
they
with
have
mental illness
the
have the
same.
same value as anyone else.
Okay, so if you were in a position where you had the opportunity to hire someone that struggles with mental illness, would you?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Why would I help them?
Okay,
Yeah. Help them. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Thank you so much. That's all. Okay, good morning. My name is Christie, and we are with CCN. Today we're gonna ask some questions about hiring people with mental illness. So today I'm speaking with
Sandra.
Sandra. So do you think there is a bias in the workplace regarding hiring the mentally ill?
I do see a lot of bias in the workforce these days. It's rough because not a lot of people have the opportunities, and it's almost like you're being discriminated against.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a study that say there is no country, no society or culture where people with mental illness have the same societal value as people without mental illnesses. Do you agree with that conclusion?
Wait, I think we might need to restart.
It's okay.
Go. Say the question again.
They say like there is no country, no society or culture where people with mental illness have the same value as people without mental illness.
I feel like mental illness isn't something that you can necessarily control.
Yeah.
It's something that develops over time. So, mental illness in like the workforce and stuff, I feel like it shouldn't be taken into accountability unless it actually affects like the work that you're doing.
Okay. So my last question is, if you were in the position where you have the opportunity to hire someone that struggles with mental illness, would you hire?
I guess it depends on the extent. How often they go through it emotionally. But I feel like most people that are putting themselves in a position to, get into work, a job, are in a mental state where they're able to sustain it. And I do believe that mental health days are very important. So as being someone in like management in this situation, I would strongly, support taking mental health days in general. So ultimately, yes, I would.
Okay, thank you.
Thank